Hello and welcome to Monkey Knife Fights picks and plays for UFC 262. Folks, I'm Conner Rowntree. We're going to take a look at 4 fights from this card, starting out on the prelims, and it is Andrea versus Antonia Shevchenko. Neither of these ladies have ever been stopped inside the octagon, so I like this fight to go long. Antonia Shevchenko has a pure striking background. In their 2 fights that she's lost inside the UFC, she was taken down a combined 8 times. Andrea, on the other hand, has landed at least 97 strikes in back-to-back fights. So if Lee decides to keep this on the feet, it should be fireworks. Shevchenko will take more time to find her shots, while Lee will push forward with speed and pressure. Take more on both of these ladies' MKF's significant strike lines. The second fight that we're going to take a look at is between Burgos and Edison Barboza. Now, Edison Barboza is one of the most exciting fighters in the history of the UFC, and he's gone the distance in 3 consecutive fights. He also owns wins over the likes of Beneil, Dariush, Dan Hooker, Paul Felder, and former champion Anthony Pettis. He's landed at least 60 strikes in 2 out of his last 3 fights and has outstruck his opponents in all 3 of those fights. Burgos has landed at least 105 strikes in 3 straight fights, all 3 of them going into the 3rd round. So this is going to be another staggering battle between talented strikers. Make sure you take more on both of these men's significant strike lines, but I like Barboza to win this one. He's been in the cage with some of the best fighters in the world and has the edge in experience. For our co-main event, it's Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. Tony Ferguson has landed over 100 strikes in 3 out of his last 4 fights, so I'm tired of people saying that Tony Ferguson is done. The only time he didn't land 100 strikes was his last time out against Charles Oliveira, who took him down 3 times. Now that Tony Ferguson has straightened out his coaching situation, he should get back to his vicious, violent ways. Beneil Dariush has collected 6 consecutive victories inside the octagon, outstriking his opponents in 5 out of 6 of those fights. Over that 6-fight stretch, Dariush has secured 13 takedowns. While that may seem like an obvious path to victory for Dariush, outside of the Oliveira fight, Ferguson has beaten all 6 of the fighters who've taken him down, finishing 4 of them. Take more on both these fighters' significant strike lines, but I like Tony Ferguson to win this fight. Our main event is for the lightweight strap. It's Iron Mike Chandler taking on Charles Oliveira. Now, Charles Oliveira is one of the best grapplers in the division, and on his feet, he's got some knockout victories over some inferior opponents. But his only big-name victory out of the premier crop of 155ers was an out-of-form Tony Ferguson, who was in the midst of a coaching change, and that went to decision. He couldn't submit Ferguson on 3 separate submission attempts, and Michael Chandler is one of the best wrestlers in the division who's never been submitted. Oliveira against top caliber fighters outside of Tony Ferguson has been knocked out in the 1st round by Donald Cowboy Cerrone, knocked out in the 1st round by Cub Swanson, knocked out in the 1st round by Max Holloway, wrestled to the ground by Frankie Edgar, and submitted by Anthony Pettis and Ricardo Lamas, and also knocked out by Paul Felder. Chandler is a stronger wrestler than Edgar, and like the other names I just read off, Chandler finishes people. He's won 3 straight fights via knockout. 4 of his last 5 wins have come by way of stoppage. If this fight stays on the feet, Chandler can put him to sleep. If this fight goes to the ground, look for Chandler to tuck him in and kiss him good night. Chandler's been making a living off of knocking guys out like Oliveira for over a decade. He has all the tools to cement his legacy on Saturday night as one of the best in the world. Make sure you take more on Chandler's fantasy line and less on Oliveira's. Head on over to Monkey Knife Fight right now, lay some money down, and good luck. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Folks, I'm Conner Rowntree, and remember to hit it hard.